Hello, this is wmpyr. For today's lesson, I want to show you guys once again things that I'm learning from Professor Bram Frank's videos. Okay, so for today I want to talk about perspective. Perspective is something very, very important according to Professor Bram Frank. And when you study his system, one of the first things that he teaches you, let me just show it to you guys first, okay, is if they're attacking you with the right hand, okay, imagine they have a weapon and they're attacking you with the right hand, then I'm going to go with my right hand. So against their right hand, I'm using my right hand, okay, right to right. So now imagine they're using their left hand to attack me, right? So if they're attacking me with their left hand, I'm going to use my left hand. So against the left hand attack, I'm using my left hand and boom. So this is, I mean, very, very basic Filipino martial arts. I mean, we all do it, you know, and it pretty much what it does is it makes you ambidextrous. So in Filipino martial arts, we train both arms. So against the right arm, using the right hand. Against the left hand, I'm using the left hand, okay? So that's pretty standard, okay? So the next thing is, once again, they're attacking me with a right hand, but instead of using my right hand, I'm going to use the left hand, okay? So they're attacking me with the right hand, but I'm going to use left hand instead of textbook right, okay? And then the last one is they're attacking me with the left hand, so it should be left versus left. But instead, I'm going to use my right hand, boom, okay? So those are the four. Now, I was kind of like, okay, you know, why is that so important? You know, I guess you wanted to break it down like that, but why is that such a big deal, right? And from my understanding, finally I'm starting to get it, was that imagine, let's not talk about Filipino martial arts, let's talk about boxing, okay? So in boxing, imagine this is my opponent. I'm about to fight this guy. So, you know, traditionally, we fight an orthodox. That means the left hand is to the front and the right hand is to the back. So I'm throwing the jabs, and then here's my cross, right? My right cross. Okay, so that's how I fight. That's how I train. And guess what? I also pretty much train for my opponent to be the same way, okay? So my opponent is also left side forward, right side to the back. They're also orthodox. However, in boxing, sometimes you encounter a person where they are a southpaw, which means the right side is to the front and the left side is to the back. And when this happens, boxers, they don't like it. They don't like facing a guy that's a southpaw because it throws off their game. All right? So that is the idea of perspectives. Okay, you're using that to throw off the opponent. So just by changing things up, changing the viewpoint, changing the angle, changing which hand you use, changing those things causes this person, just by changing, it's going to throw them off. So it is a weapon. It is a conceptual weapon that you're using against them. You know, just like, once again, if you go southpaw on someone that's expecting orthodox, it throws them off. So that is the idea. Now, let me go further into explanation in a way that makes sense to me, and hopefully it'll make sense to you guys. Okay, so please bear with me, but now let me go to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, let me go to Judo. Okay, so grappling arts. Okay, so imagine that my back is on the ground and I have the guard position, which means my legs are wrapped around the opponent here, okay, and they're on top. So in this position, the guard position, we all know that if their right arm is right here, I trap it with my right arm here, okay, I can go for the arm bar. So my left hand makes sure their elbow doesn't escape, and then I just need to bring my left leg over onto the front here, in front of their face, and then I could get the arm bar, all right? So in other words, their right arm, I'm going to attack their right arm. I'm going to do the arm bar to their right arm. I trap it with my right arm. So right to right, okay? Now, the thing is though, this guy is most used to that because most people in the school are going to be right-handed, and that's what he's going to be most familiar with, people attacking his right arm. He is most familiar with that. He's used to defending that way. He's used to those attacks. So what if I switch it up on him and I attack his left arm, okay? So if I'm going to get his left arm into an arm bar, left arm, I trap it with my left arm, left to left. And then my right arm makes sure that the elbow doesn't escape. And then I got to bring my right leg over, and then I get the arm bar on this guy, okay? So if I have both sides, I can arm bar you from either side, from my right side or the left. Then if I can do that, it's going to make it harder for the opponent to deal with you, right? You can see that's already an advantage, okay? So yeah, if I have a left arm bar and I got this down, that's going to be a little bit harder for him to deal with compared to the right side, okay? So you guys get that. Okay, so now, what if I'm going to do an arm bar on his right arm, okay? But instead of trapping it with my right arm, I trap it with my left. Okay, the setup is different, so he is not going to be as sure. Because the moment I do this with his right arm and my right arm like this, if he knows this stuff, he's already started his defense. He already knows that the arm bar is coming. He should. He should. You know, unless he's a total beginner. He already knows. So he's already stacking me up, or he's already, you know, crossing his arms. Okay, he knows the defense. It's already going to start. I'm giving it away. I'm letting him know that I'm going to attack this arm. So what if I don't use my right arm, I use the left arm, and I go into an arm bar? It's going to throw him off a little bit. Okay, so even better is, let's do it to his left arm. Okay, so instead of his right arm, where he's stronger, let's do it to his left arm, where he's less comfortable with. And then on top of that, rather than going left to left, let me use the right arm to throw him off. So I'm using the right arm now to do the arm bar on his left arm. So that's going to throw him off, and he's not as used to it. So that's a double whammy. And that is, from my understanding, perspectives. It's a weapon that you use to throw them off. So Professor Bram Frank is just using that for Filipino martial arts. So once again, the right arm, go right to right. That's standard, right? Left arm, left to left. This is what makes Filipino martial arts ambidextrous, okay? But now, against the right arm, instead of going right to right, I'm going to go left arm against their right arm. Okay, so that's going to throw them off. Now even more is against their left arm, I'm going to use the right arm right there. So that's my understanding. I hope this makes sense. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.